Hey guys, welcome to a weekly question video. If you'd like to leave us a question, details on how to do that is down below, as well as a link to our Patreon. If that is something that you're interested in doing, you get bonus content as well as a way to support the channel and support what we're doing here. So for today's question, somebody asked, how do you take the structures and the mindsets that you established during those disciplinary moments, and how do you carry those into your day-to-day lives? Because when you're in those disciplinary moments, the head of household is being really authoritative. They're being very direct and very in that, dominant position, in that like leadership position. And as a taken in hand, you are submitting to their authority, you are receiving direction, and it's a very unique experience as far as the exchange that's happening between you. But part of the reason we do domestic discipline is to be able to carry those mindsets into our daily structure and be able to sustain that structure of like having the head of household assume that authority and leadership, and having the taken in hand be under that authority and be in the submissive position. That's part of why we use domestic discipline, is to be able to carry those into our daily lives. So how do we do that? What it really comes down to is your mindset. More than anything else is mindset and understanding. And so as a taken in hand, my biggest challenge is to maintain a mindset that I am under my head of household's authority. Part of that does come with the consistency of consequences, because if I act outside of my head of household's authority in any regard, it is his responsibility to come in and offer those consequences so that I know that I misstepped, that I stepped outside of his authority. And so keeping that in the forefront of my mind, keeping that knowledge of my position and my place, helps me maintain a mindset of submission. It helps me maintain the understanding of my position in the relationship. And on the flip side, Coda would say that he has to remember that his role is to have authority, and that it is his job to oversee and to step in with accountability. And so for him, it's just more about maintaining the mindset that he not only gets to, but he has a responsibility to oversee what I am doing and step in and tell me when I am stepping outside of that authority, when I'm acting outside of what we have negotiated as acceptable within our relationship. Beyond that, some of the things that we have done to continue to maintain those structures outside of active discipline is that we have a set of rules that we've negotiated, and we have nightly check-ins where we touch base. Coda asks me questions to make sure that I have maintained the structures and the rules that he expects me to maintain. I make my list of daily responsibilities on my planner, and so he will check my planner, see where I'm at with all of that. If he needs to give me any type of verbal encouragement to maintain those structures, if he needs to offer accountability, if he needs to offer correction, then he will do that during that check-in time. And so really the check-in is paramount for us to maintain that structure, even though we live very busy lives. Coda is in school full-time, he works full-time. I maintain the production of the content here, and I also homeschool our daughter. I maintain our home. So we are both working very hard to maintain the life that we have, to have the lifestyle that we have. And so when those life things get in the way, it's very, very important for us to remember that at the center of that, at the core of that, is our relationship. And our relationship functions best with that sense of headship and submission, that authority and accountability. All of those structures that we've built we have to keep that at the core, and we have to remember to let that extend into all of our daily living so that we don't have things fall apart, right? Because if our relationship starts to kind of crumble under that pressure, then everything else is going to follow suit. So we have to have those daily check-ins. Coda has to get into the habit of overseeing what I do daily so that he can correct me or even punish me when I have earned it in real time, because if he waits, then those habits of not doing the right thing, those habits of breaking rules, they grow over time. And so he wants to make sure that he is catching it quickly and that he is dealing with it appropriately so that I get into the habit of doing the right things. And it also gives me the accountability to know that he is going to be attentive to what I'm doing during the day. So that puts it in my mind that I need to make sure that I am fulfilling my responsibilities, that I am doing what he's asked me to do, that I am fulfilling the expectations of our relationship. Now, beyond all of that, at the core of this, I have to understand my responsibility to respect Coda's authority, to respect him as my husband, to respect him as my head of household. And so keeping that in the forefront of my mind and understanding that part of respecting him is to get his permission for things, is to consider his preferences, is to take his needs, his wants, and what he has set as the expectations of our home into account in everything that I do. And so that is one way that I really do try to show in a tangible way how much I respect Coda, is I really do try to put him into an elevated position in my mind so that whatever I'm doing, I am doing it with the perspective of doing it the way he wants it done, because I respect his position to make those decisions. You still can maintain that same mindset of putting them into the position of priority. And then on the head of household side, understanding that your taken in hand is counting on you to offer that oversight, to maintain your authority, to be steadfast in how you show up and how you maintain accountability. Understanding that, like, yes, you have to go to work, you have to, do all of these things as a head of household, but at the end of the day, you need to make sure that you are prioritizing giving your taken in hand the time and attention that she needs in order for her to feel like her efforts are being reciprocated by the fact that you are paying attention, that you are acknowledging where she's done well, but that you are also holding accountability. Because I know for myself that anything that I do that I know is wrong, first of all, I know that it's wrong and I expect that accountability. I don't like getting away with things. And so when those things are overlooked, it doesn't feel good. It feels almost like I'm being ignored, and that can really undermine all of the things that you're trying to build in your relationship. So really maintaining those structures in your daily lives comes down to just prioritizing the time that it takes to offer oversight, to offer accountability, for taken in hand, prioritizing, honoring your head of household, keeping them at the forefront of your mind, thinking through what's expected and meeting those expectations. That's the best way to kind of maintain those mindsets, and then check in at the end of the day. Make sure that you are having an intentional conversation about how the day went so that you're not letting bad habits build up unintentionally, because again, that will destroy progress. And if you want to continue to progress, if you want to continue to build your relationship in a positive way, you need to make sure that you are building that time in to focus on what happened that day. And it doesn't have to take long. I think Coda and I, it's, maybe 10 to 15 minutes if there's no disciplinary action that it needs to happen. We build in an hour for that time just in case there is a disciplinary action that needs to happen. But the conversation itself, just the, hey, let me check your list, how things go today, how did you feel about everything, do you have anything you need to tell me, do you have anything to self-report? That conversation takes 10 minutes. And if everything went well that day, then we go about our evening. It's not a big deal. So build in that time, build in that structure, build in the mindset of understanding your role and doing what it takes to fulfill it. All right, guys, I hope that helped you. I hope that you enjoyed that, and let me know down below what you thought, and leave me a question if you have a question that you want me to answer. Okay, bye.